On a quiet December morning, just as the first winter snow began to fall, a little Chesapeake Bay Retriever named Emmi woke up feeling something special in the air. Today wasn't just any day. Today was her 5th birthday, a day filled with memories, love, and moments that would shape her future in the most beautiful ways. Join us as we walk beside Emmi through a celebration woven with joy, reflection, and the warmth of family.
I woke up before the sun, not because of a noise, not because Hunter flopped onto my tail again, and not because Indy started snoring like a tractor, though he usually does. I woke up because something in the air felt soft and new, like winter's breath whispering through the hallway. Today is my birthday, my 5th birthday. 5 years, 5 winters, 5 summers chasing butterflies in tall grass, 5 autumns where the wind smelled like fading leaves and Momma's cinnamon candles, 5 springs full of muddy paws and big dog smiles. I stretched slowly, savoring the feeling of this morning. My paws slid across my warm blanket, and the soft glow from the hallway nightlight made everything feel magical. For a moment, I didn't move. I just listened. The house hummed with quiet. Momma's gentle footsteps downstairs, the low rumble of the heater, Hunter's deep breathing on the rug, and Indy, of course, snoring loud enough to scare away ghosts. I ducked my head and smiled. Some things never change. When I finally slipped off the couch, the floor felt cool under my paws. I tiptoed down the hallway, passing my brothers without waking them. Momma was in the kitchen, humming in that soft early morning way she does when she thinks no one is listening. Her hair was a little messy, tied up in a cozy way, and the warm light from above the stove wrapped her in a golden glow. She turned and froze. "Oh, Emmi," she whispered, her voice warm as a blanket. "Happy birthday, sweetheart!" Her face lit up in that special way she only uses for us. I pressed my nose into her leg gently. I didn't need words. She understood everything I meant. Momma made me a birthday breakfast, a fancy birthday breakfast. She opened the fridge and pulled out treasures. Fresh chicken, beef chunks, a swirl of bone broth, and blueberries, the special kind that only come out on celebrations. She placed my bowl down slowly, like it was a crown. Indy stared at it. Hunter stared at it. Even Momma stared at it proudly. "Just for the birthday girl," she said. I eat like the world is ending. Momma just laughs and says, "Slow down there, little girlie." Not like Indy. He takes small and happy bites and savors the flavors. LOL. And not like Hunter, who eats slow but acts like the food owes him money. I savored every flavor, as much as you can when you're snurfing it down, the bone broth warming me from the inside out. It felt like the first page of a new chapter in my life. 5 years old, Momma whispered as she stroked my ears. My sweet girl is growing up. I leaned into her hand so she'd know I'm still her baby, no matter how old I get. After breakfast, the boys stayed inside while Momma took me on a private morning walk, just the 2 of us. The air was cold enough to puff little clouds when I breathed, and frost sparkled along the grass like silver sprinkles. Momma's boots crunched softly as we headed toward the small hill behind the house, the one where I had my first zoomies as a puppy. When we reached the top, Momma sat down on the frosty ground and patted the space beside her. I curled against her side, the cold forgotten instantly in her warmth. For a long moment, we watched the creek below, the thin sheet of ice shimmering like glass. Then Momma spoke, her voice soft as winter mist. "I remember the day I brought you home," she murmured. "You were so tiny, so curious. I remember, too, the car ride, the smell of my new blanket, Mama's hands, gentle, steady, warm. She told me I'd never be alone. She told me I'd always have a home. She told me I'd always have her. And she was right. 5 years later, her scent is still my favorite place." Momma leaned down and kissed the top of my head. "You made my world brighter, Emmi." I pressed into her chest to tell her she made mine brighter too. When we returned home, something was different. Very different. Indy had dragged his favorite toy, the one he never shares, into the middle of the living room. Hunter had gathered the big soft couch blanket into a perfect fluffy throne. And there on the coffee table was a little birthday bandana, a purple one, my favorite color. Momma tied it around my neck gently, then stepped back. "You look beautiful." The boys barked suddenly, 3 loud, proud birthday barks. Indy bumped his forehead against mine. Hunter rested his chin on my shoulder. Momma clapped her hands and smiled. I felt loved, so loved it filled every inch of me. Momma opened the minivan door, and I knew we were going somewhere special. The van smelled like winter coats, road trip snacks, and pine-scented air freshener. We all piled in, tails thumping the seats. Momma rolled down the windows, just enough for the cold air to rush in. I stuck my nose out and inhaled deeply. Snow, wood smoke, distant chimney fires, 1,000 tiny, exciting things. We drove to my favorite trail, the one with tall, whispering pines and crunchy frozen leaves. The world felt quiet, peaceful, like the universe paused just for me. I ran ahead, tail swirling behind me like a fuzzy comet, Indy chasing me with dramatic yelps, and Hunter lumbering behind like a noble ship in the snow. I stopped under a tall pine, snowflakes drifting down onto my nose. 5 years old, 5 years of moments that led to this one. The forest felt like it was celebrating with me. Momma knelt down and cupped my face in her hands. "You're my little blessing," she whispered. I licked her chin. "But she doesn't understand. She's mine too." On the drive back, I curled into Momma's lap and dozed off while she stroked my fur rhythmically. I dreamed of things I haven't lived yet. Future road trips, future snowy mornings, future summer swims, future sunsets on the porch, future birthdays, future quiet moments in Momma's arms. Dogs don't think about time the way humans do, but love makes us feel the past, present, and future all at once. When I woke up, the world felt full of possibilities. I'm 5, and I'm just getting started. When the sky turned deep winter blue, Momma prepared a final surprise. A frozen goat milk birthday cup with tiny berries and a swirl of raw honey. She set it gently on the floor. A single candle flickered on top. "Make a wish, Emmi," she said. And I did.
I wished for more moments, more love, more time, more of this family I treasure more than anything. Then I licked the candle. She blew it out before I swallowed it. Momma laughed, a laugh that filled the whole house. It was the perfect sound to end my perfect birthday.
The sky darkened into a deep velvet blue as the last scraps of my birthday treat melted on my tongue. The house was warm, almost glowing with soft lamps and holiday candles. Momma moved around the living room quietly, fluffing blankets, lighting a few extra cinnamon sticks. Indy sprawled upside down on the couch like a lawn chair someone folded wrong. Hunter lay against the wall, paws neatly crossed like he was posing for a portrait. I lay beside the Christmas tree, the lights twinkling like tiny stars hugging the pine needles. The tree always makes me feel safe, like the holidays wrap the house in a kind of magic. Momma sat beside me and stroked my ears. "You've grown so much, sweetheart." Her voice cracked just a little. I pressed my head onto her knee. "I'm 5, Momma, but I'm still yours. Always yours." As she traced circles in my fur, I remembered every December before this one. My first Christmas, my first snow, my first time learning that wrapping paper isn't for eating, even though Indy still hasn't learned that. And now at 5, I felt something new. A quiet sense of understanding, a sense of belonging. Maybe that's what growing up feels like.
Later that evening, Momma disappeared upstairs for a moment. Her footsteps creaked on the old steps, soft and familiar. Hunter raised an eyebrow. Indy's ears perked. "What's she doing?" Indy whispered dramatically. "She's Momma," Hunter said calmly. "She does things." The boys are very insightful. Momma came back down holding a small wooden box. She sat on the floor with us and opened it slowly. Inside was a little collar charm shaped like a heart. "This," she said softly, "was Chiclets." The room grew still. Hunter lowered his head. Indy's tail slowed. I knew who Chiclet was. I never met her myself, but her scent still lingers in the old blankets and in tiny corners of Momma's voice when she talks about her. Momma gently clipped the charm to my bandana. "This," she said softly, "was Chiclet's." The room grew still. Hunter lowered his head. Indy's tail slowed. I knew who Chiclet was. I'd never met her myself, but her scent still lingers in the old blankets and in tiny corners of Momma's voice when she talks about her. Momma gently clipped the charm to my bandana. "She would have loved you, Emmi," she whispered. A warm feeling spread through my chest. A connection, soft, gentle, filled with love, passed down through time. I licked Momma's hand in a quiet thank you. "I think she's proud of all of you," Momma said to the room, voice trembling just slightly. Hunter walked over and rested his head on Momma's lap. Indy crawled into her arms, even though he weighs as much as a small bison. We stayed there, the 4 of us, wrapped in memories and warm light. A birthday gift that wasn't just for me, but for all of us. Just when the house had gone still, Indy barked, once, loud, surprised. We all ran to the window. Snow! Tiny flakes drifting from the skies, slow and gentle like feathers. My tail wagged, Hunter's eyes widened. Indy screamed joyfully into the glass. Momma laughed. "Snow on your birthday, Emmi, just like your first year." She opened the front door and cold air whooshed in. We raced outside. The yard was quiet, except for the whisper of falling snow. The world felt like a dream,
soft, glowing, peaceful. I lifted my face and let flakes land on my nose. Hunter lumbered through the yard, leaving deep tracks behind him. Indy zoomed so fast he slid into a tree. Momma stood on the porch, smiling with that look, the one that says we are her whole world. I hopped up onto the porch steps and nudged her hand. "Come play, Momma." She stepped into the snow. Her boots made deep crunches. She threw a handful of flakes into the air, and we leaped to catch them. It was simple. It was perfect. It was the kind of moment I'll carry forever. After our snow adventure, Momma dried us with warm towels fresh from the dryer. Indy tried to eat his. Hunter tolerated his. I melted into mine like butter on a biscuit. We curled up on the couch, all four of us squeezed together under a soft blanket. Momma kissed the top of my head and whispered, "I love you more every year." Her words sank into me, soft as a lullaby. The boys nestled close. The snow drifted quietly outside. The house smelt like pine and warm blankets. I rested my head on Momma's chest, feeling her heartbeat beneath my ear. If love had a sound, this was it. That night, I dreamed of the future, not in a scary way, but in the warm, fuzzy way dreams feel when they're wrapped in love. I saw spring days at the pond, summer road trips with the windows down, autumn hikes with crunchy leaves, winter snuggles by the fireplace. I saw Momma smiling. I saw Indy and Hunter wrestling in the yard. I saw myself, older, braver, calmer, a good girl through and through. I dreamed of growing old with my family, of being loved every step of the way, of giving love back in every way I could, because that's what 5 years have taught me. Love doesn't fade. Love grows. Love remembers. When morning came, sunlight poured through the windows and landed right on my new charm. It sparkled like a tiny star. Momma stretched and kissed each of us good morning. "Did you have a good birthday, Emmi?" I wagged gently, the slow, deep kind of wag that means thank you for everything. Hunter head-butted me softly. Indy tried to steal my breakfast, but Momma yelled his name in that special Momma way. Everything felt normal and perfect, because birthdays aren't about the gifts. They're about the love woven into every moment. And my life is full of those moments.
As the day went on, Momma opened the front door again and let us outside into the crisp morning. Snow glistened across the yard. The world felt clean, new, full of promise. I walked beside Momma, brushing against her leg. She looked down and smiled. "You're 5 now," she whispered. "My beautiful girl, you have so much life ahead of you." And I knew she was right. More adventures, more sunrises, more love, more time. The future wasn't scary. It was bright and warm and full of Momma's voice calling my name, with Indy's laughter, Hunter's steady presence, and my heart ready for everything that awaits. 5 years behind me, a lifetime ahead, and I'm not afraid of any of it. Because wherever we go together. The day after my birthday felt different. Not in a big, dramatic way, just in the quiet way the world feels after a celebration. Like everything was settling into place. The snow outside had thickened overnight, turning the yard into a soft, sparkling playground. The morning light bounced off it, warm and golden, even though the air was icy cold. I stepped out onto the porch, my paws pressing into the fresh snow, making the first tracks of the day. The cold was sharp, but I love winter. It makes everything feel cleaner, brighter, and full of promise. Indy bounded out behind me, slipping immediately. Hunter followed, moving with slow, steady steps like the gentle old soul he sometimes tries to pretend he is. Momma stood on the porch with her coffee, wrapped in her robe and boots, her face soft with that morning happiness she gives only us. "Look at you," she said, smiling, "freshly 5 and ready for the world." I wagged.
After breakfast, Momma bundled up and called, "Come on, let's take a walk." The boys and I raced to her. There's something in the way Momma says those words. The soft excitement, the promise hidden inside, that makes my heart lift. We walked toward the wooded ridge behind the house, our breath fogging the air. The trees were coated in snow, their branches hanging low like they were bowing to winter. Indy ran circles around us, plowing through snowbanks like a furry snowplow. Hunter followed the trail dutifully, checking prints, sniffing branches, doing important grown dog things. And me? I walked right beside Momma. Every so often, she rested her hand on my back. Not heavy, just a touch. A reminder that I am hers and she is mine. As we reached the top of the ridge, the whole valley spread below us, the creek frozen in lines of silver, the pine trees dusted in white, the sky glowing with pale sun. Momma kneeled beside me. She whispered, "These are the moments I live for." "Me too, Momma. Me too." A small gust of wind blew past, carrying a tiny swirl of powdered snow. It danced in front of us, floating gently before drifting up into the branches above. Something about it made my heart feel warm, like a memory brushing past. I thought of the first time I played fetch with Indy, the first time I cuddled under a blanket with Momma, the first time Hunter let me sleep right beside him, the first time I saw snow, the first time I knew this was home. 5 years of little joys, 5 years of love collected quietly in the corners of my heart. And standing there on the ridge, I realized something. Growing older doesn't mean leaving anything behind. It means carrying everything with you. Every lick, every laugh, every moment. They all stay. When we returned home, Momma warmed your hands by the heater vent while we sprawled across the living room carpet in a fluffy dog pile of post-walk exhaustion. Indy laid on his back again, legs up like a moose that slipped on a skating rink. Hunter curled into a perfect cinnamon roll shape. I lay beside Momma's feet, my new collar charm resting gently against the carpet. Momma reached down and stroked my head. "You're my heart, Emmi," she murmured. I closed my eyes. "I know, and you're mine." As evening approached, Momma lit a single candle on the counter. The room washed in warm orange light, flickering softly across the walls. She sat on the couch and motioned for me. I hopped up beside her. She wrapped her arm around me, gently, lovingly, like she was keeping me safe from the whole world. 5 years, she whispered. 5 years of you. You have no idea how much joy you've brought into my life. I nuzzled into her chest. "But I do, Momma. I feel it. Every single day." Outside, snow drifted down in lazy flakes. Inside, everything felt soft. I felt like a puppy again, small, warm and protected. Just before bed, Momma opened the back door. Cold air drifted in, sharp and fresh. 3 deer stood at the edge of the woods, silent, elegant, watching us. Their breath puffed into the air like tiny clouds. Momma smiled. "That's good luck, Emmi." I stared at them. They didn't run. Instead, they lifted their heads slightly, a gentle acknowledgement. Then they turned and walked slowly back into the trees, their shapes fading into the snowy night. It felt like a birthday blessing, a tiny gift from the world. That night, curled in Momma's bed with my brothers breathing softly around me, I felt something new settle into my heart. Not just love, not just comfort, hope. Hope for another year of everything I cherish. Cold mornings on the porch, long drives with the heat on, summer swims in the creek, fall leaves crunching under our paws, warm nights on the couch, Momma's laughter, Indy's silliness, Hunter's calm strength, and the simple joy of being alive in this family. I don't know what the next year will hold, but I do know this. I'm 5. I'm happy. I'm loved deeper than winter snow, and the future is bright, glowing like the candle Momma lit for me. Wherever life goes, I'll follow, as long as I have Momma, Indy, and Hunter by my side, because that's my birthday wish. Not for toys, not for treats, for time, for love, for more of this life I treasure, and I know it's coming. The world is big, the adventures are waiting, and I'm ready. Because I'm Emmi, 5 years old, loved beyond measure. And this is just the beginning.
As the snow settled gently outside and the house grew quiet again, Emmi curled into Momma's arms knowing one thing for certain. 5 years have passed, but the best is still ahead. With Indy Hunter and Momma by her side, her world is full of love, adventure, and all the moments that make life bright. Happy birthday, sweet Emmi. Here's to many more winters, many more memories, and all the beautiful years to come. Thank you for coming along for Emmi's birthday story. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for more stories from the dog side.